So now we have a pretty cool smoke simulation. Let's say we wanted to export this to like Blender. I'm gonna reduce my frame range to 60, and a couple things we want to do. First, in your Pyro Solver, go to Solving and Advanced and turn off the OpenCL solving. And then in the Export tab, we want to make our file size as small as possible. So we're going to say Convert to VDB, use 16-bit float, and Blender does not do motion blur, and this velocity is actually like a vector, so it's times 3 the amount of data. So I'm going to turn off velocity. We don't need any CD. Um, Really, I think we only need temperature, but it's kind of nice to have both to play around with because you might be able to mix them. Um, Really, just one or the other is all you need, but I'm going to have both, and then definitely you need density. So that's set up for export. Uh, but then to actually export it from Houdini, you need we're going to convert to VDB. We're going to plug in our Pyro solver, and we want it to convert to volume to VDB, and we want to take our density, our flame, and our temperature. And then we're going to say file cache, plug that in, and this part is a little tricky, but if you click this button here, it'll say, okay, where do you want to save it? I'm going to just smoke play. I'm going to make a new folder and just call it VDB's multiple blasts. So I'm in within that folder, and then here's the naming convention. Name it whatever you want, but then you need dot, $, capital F, that means the frame number, and then if you put a 4, it's going to have 4 digits for that frame number, so 000000001. Okay, so that's an expression you need capital F4 dot VDB. And then I'll say accept. And if we start playing, it's just caching it right now, but let me actually say save to disk, save frame range, and we'll be back in a second. I like one thing I forgot is if you do also want the glowing ember tips, what you need to do is let's see. So we have from this merge where we merged in our split trail temperature, you'll also want that to be included. So let's plug that into our convert VDB if you want it. The way I had it set up was fine if you liked it without. But then now we have this trail temperature, and then we can bake that out. Okay, so after you hit save to disk, actually you can preview it if you say load from disk. So I often find it does look better in Houdini, even the preview, but anyways, it's on our disk. In Blender, we'll delete that. We'll add a volume, import, open VDB. I'll go to my blasts. And if I just hit play, I can see, there they are. So we'll go just find a frame. Now, I'm going to render in cycles, and the volumes render a lot quicker, and you don't get that much, it's not that much lower quality if you set the step rate up higher and the viewport up to like 5. It's by default it's at 1, and I don't think it adds that much more quality, but it really slows down the render. So we'll open up our material editor, and let's just see what, there's all our attributes we brought over: density, flame, temperature, and trail temperature. That's kind of cool. You can visualize. So it looks like temperature is a bigger thing. We're gonna like customize this look though. So let's turn off the background. We still have a light up there. Maybe we can even turn that into a sun lamp. Set the strength to 1 or whatever. Okay. I'm going to brighten up the smoke, and really all you need to do to see the flames is we have temperature in there already, and if you just turn the black body intensity up to like 500 and then crank the temperature up really high, that kind of gets you close, but you don't have much control. So to really customize the flames, we're gonna Shift A, add an attribute node, and we're gonna type in temperature, and then we're gonna add a converter color ramp. And basically, well, we won't change the color yet. We'll do shader emission, and then we'll add this to our smoke sim with a shader add node. Give it some space. Okay, so what is this doing? So that bright spot would be the fire, and if you drag this black in, it like you can kind of cut away how much fire you want. So I'll say add. The first should be a bright red. Add. The next will be a bright orange. Bring it over there. Add. The next will be a bright yellow, and that yellow will be close to the white. The red will be almost to black. The orange will be almost to the red. And yeah, I like this because we can kind of choose how much flames we want. If you want a lot, then bring it really far over. Or you can also adjust the strength pretty easily too. So I'm going to cut away at some of those flames. And maybe I'll just get rid of the red. Anyways, so what if you want the trails? So we have that attribute called, we'll just copy all these, Shift D to duplicate. We'll change this to, we'll just add trail underscore at the beginning. Again, if you forget what it's called, it's all right there. Trail temperature, and then we'll duplicate this add. Drag that in, and now we have our trails. And again, you can brighten those up. Maybe those should be more red, and maybe, I'm not sure if dragging this in really crushes them more or less or whatever, but yeah. The last thing is maybe we'll increase density a touch. And that's our smoke.